You're watching the Batter Fans Network.
Welcome everybody to episode number 56 of the Battered Marlins Fans Podcast. I'm your host, Derek, and alongside me, as always, I got Brenton Griffin. How are you doing, sir?
I think I'm okay after a tough stretch of Marlins baseball, but doing all right.
Yeah, I mean, I had I thought the Mets series was kind of fun, even though we got blown
Mm,
out one game. But taking 3 out of 4, I think was a high. We couldn't come do the show last week, Labor Day weekend, so everybody's out of town having a good time. But we came back this week, and unfortunately, over the last week, we went 1-5. Not the ideal ending to the season. We got like 19 games left, but I think all eyes are on next year already.
yeah, I think so. Especially if you look at, I think all the excitement on Marlins Twitter the last week was Thomas White making his AAA debut and striking out 10, I think it was, in his
Yeah.
AAA debut. And, we'll get into the other non-baseball story that kind of went around the team this week.
I mean, I felt like that was the story right this week. So
Yeah.
Atlanta, I know before the last time we spoke, we had Atlanta coming up for a 3-game set, and I said maybe the Braves make a crazy run and make a run for the wild card. No, they fell on their face after they beat us 2 out of 3.
Hmm.
But they beat us 2 out of 3. Uh, Eddie Cabrera had a good outing that week, that series, and then we had the Mets come into town. Oh no, was it in New York? No, no,
I think it was in
that
New
was in New
York.
York. Yeah, that was in New York.
Yeah.
We in New York we took 3 out of 4, and that I
Hmm.
think was the, I mean, the highlight of the last 2 weeks. What did you think about the baseball over the last 2 weeks? I know Otto Lopez looked decent.
Yeah, Otto Lopez played really well. Had a great game yesterday. I think he had 4 RBIs. So he's playing really well. I thought the Mets series was fun. Like you said, I
Mhm.
mean, it's always fun beating the Mets, especially
Absolutely.
when you can take 3 out of a 4-game series. I'll take it. Um, but after that, I was really disappointed in the national series. I thought coming off of the Mets series and taking 3 out of 4 against them, I thought we should take at least 2 out of the 3 against the Nats, but we dropped all 3. And then the Phillies, we did kind of what I expected. I figured we would probably, take a game.
That Mets series, although it was fun, we put up runs because we gave up a lot of runs.
Mhm.
We gave up 35
Yeah.
runs in that series, even though 19 wasn't just that blowout loss. Giving up 35 runs in one series is not ideal. There's obviously inconsistencies there with our starting rotation and our bullpen. Um, how you feeling looking into or looking towards 2026 with this team? Because sometimes I think when the pitching is back and healthy, I don't know if Sandy will be back. This team has a chance to compete for a wild card next year. But then sometimes I look at them and I'm like, I don't know. I still don't see the consistency.
Yeah, I think the inconsistency kind of comes with a young team or an inexperienced team, and that's really what we are. One of the things that's kind of interesting is the season kind of started to, I don't want to say fall apart, but started on the downward trend once Stowers was out.
Yeah.
That really hurt us. Um, and I think the rotation's going to look vastly different next year, right? We're going to have, hopefully if everybody stays in place, which I still think Sandy probably moves in the off season, but
And what about Eddie
you're looking
Cabrera?
at, yeah, he might. He's finished a strong season. This is, no matter how he finishes at this point, I think we could probably say this is his best season
Without
yet.
a doubt, yeah.
And so you probably can sell him high, but let's say those two guys stick around because the Bendix has shown that he's not going to trade unless he gets what he wants.
Right.
So you have Sandy, Yuri, Cabrera, Braxton will be back next year. You've got Max Myers, Ryan Weathers. You've got Tommy White is knocking on the door after that performance in AAA. I think we might get a good look at him in spring training. So I think there's a lot of optimism about this team turning around because, as you mentioned, like I think pitching has really been what's let us down because you can't rely on on three guys forever, right? They're gonna have ups
Mm-mm.
and downs, and when you're 4-5, let's be honest, are pretty bad compared to the league average. You run this risk of kind of going on bad streaks. Um, so I think 2026 will be a good season for the Marlins. Do I think not anybody who says we're going to win the division is crazy, but I think you know, we'll see what happens in the offseason, see what we add. Hopefully, we bring in a couple free agents and, maybe make some more noise because I think this team showed in the first half of the season that we could do it and we can be a fun team. And, you know,
No, they had a good summer.
hmm
The last two series, they got shut out twice. No, I'm sorry, they got shut out once. They got shut out the first game against the Nationals. They put up 17 runs in 7 games. So no, in 6 games. So we need a little more bat, especially if our pitching is going to let us down. And I think I don't know if it's the worst or the best part of the fact that over the last 2 weeks, the biggest story came not on the field but in the stands.
yeah.
Um, the Philly fan, Philly Karen, as she was labeled. I don't know what. I'm sure you saw it. Even my
Oh,
wife was
yeah.
asked. Even my wife was asking me about it because she's like, "Did that happen in Miami?" I was like, "Yeah, that was here." Um, what your thoughts on Philly Karen and what went down there? Because that was quite the story for 24 hours. I can't imagine what she
Yeah.
must have felt like when she woke up and she saw that she was basically the story across the country.
Well, that and like MLB Network was putting it out. MLB
Everybody,
everything was putting it out.
yeah.
Like it was crazy. And I actually heard both sides of the argument. I didn't think there were two sides.
Oh, I haven't heard the
Um
other side.
yeah, so apparently like there are some people that are mad at the guy who took the ball because like he took it right out apparently he took it right out of the lady's hand or something. I don't know.
Hmm.
That was one theory
Okay,
that's, circulating, but it doesn't look like that to me. To me,
not
it
me
looks
either.
like,
He got there
he was
first.
stuck in the seat, he grabbed it, he got it first, and he gave it to, what I assume is his son, um, and, to me, that's how it goes. That's how baseball should go.
Yeah,
That ball
isn't
should
that
go
the
to your
unwritten
kid.
rule? Yeah,
Yeah,
if it might fall next to you, but first person to grab it, it's theirs. I feel like that's the
yeah.
unwritten rule.
Like, if there's 3 hands going for it, which there were in this case, and whoever gets there first gets the ball, and, it was, I hate to say it, but it would have to be Philly fans, right, that would do something like this. Like, if it was like a football thrown into the stands, like, Eagles fans would fight over it amongst each other instead of being happy that a kid got it. Like,
Yeah.
it would be Philly fans that fight amongst themselves, and, it's just, I kinda feel bad for this lady because now she's plastered all over the internet. She probably can't go to work.
Well, my understanding is that she got fired, which I think is crazy.
Oh, did she? I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
and people are celebrating her getting fired. I don't know. I think that's a
No,
bit
that's
much.
that's bad.
Yeah, that's a
Well,
bit
that and,
much.
like, listen, like, we've all been to the ballpark, like, who knows? Like, maybe she had a
She
couple beers
I was
and,
about to say
like,
maybe she was intoxicated. It's a bad moment, and
yeah,
and supposedly she works in New Jersey, so she's not even like she's on vacation. So she might be intoxicated because she started
yeah,
flicking everybody off. Like I don't know
yeah.
if you've
Oh,
seen
I
the
didn't
videos of her. She's
I missed
holding the
those ones.
ball, so the ball that everybody's bitching at her, she's holding the ball as she's flicking everybody off. So definitely not a good look. I know
Yeah,
I'm an administrator in a school, and I know that we sign off that even when we're not working, we have
yeah.
a more the morals. We have
You
a
have to
moral
maintain your
standing, right?
yeah,
Like when we're in public places, I get all that, but I don't know. Supposedly, she lost her job. I don't know.
that's unfortunate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everybody was celebrating that she lost her job. I thought that was a bit much. I mean, we all have our bad moments. To lose your livelihood, I think that that's a bit much. But and I thought that the dad's reaction was kind of weird. 'Cause I don't know if you saw
yeah,
when he was like, "What the hell?" He was
yeah.
completely shocked that she would come up to him. I wouldn't have given the ball back. I don't understand why he gave it to her.
He probably just wanted to get back to watching the game with his family, and
No. I mean, it
wanted to
worked
get
out
her
for
out
him.
of his face. It did. It worked out in a big way because the Marlins stepped up almost immediately with that
Hmm.
prize pack they gave him. And then he ended up meeting some of the Phillies players after the game and got a signed bat.
I forget who it was that hit the home run, but whoever it was that hit the home run, he gave him the signed bat,
Yeah,
which is really
yeah,
cool.
yeah. I think it worked out for him, and hopefully that lady can sell that ball for $12, and she'll be good. I mean, it's
Yeah,
not like it was like Otani's like 50-50 home run or something,
nah,
like
that's a
it
ball to
was
fight over.
yeah, like it was just a ball in like what's gonna end up being a meaningless game, and you act like an idiot, and you potentially ruin other people's day at the ballpark, and that's not what baseball's about.
Yeah, I think the worst part was when she started flicking everybody off. I think that to me
Yeah.
was the worst part, holding the ball in that hand that she's flicking everybody off with. I thought that was the worst part. But I wouldn't have given, like, if I got the ball for myself and she started making a big deal about it, here, have the ball. But once I give it to my son, I'm sorry, that's my
Yeah.
son's. Yeah, you're not getting it. But again, it worked out for him, so good for him. But anybody
Well,
watching,
it's
that's the unwritten rule. You get to the ball first, it's
again,
yours.
yeah, and again, that's only Philly fans. Like, I guarantee if those were two Marlins fans, they would have been like, "All right, you want to go? I'll buy you a beer and we'll cover it or something."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Yeah, let's give me some croquetas at Isla Canarias and we're good.
yeah,
Out in center
some
field.
cafecito and you're good.
I I don't know if you saw the highlights. The Nicaraguan day. I think it was Saturday.
Mhm.
Is it Saturday or yesterday? But I don't know if you saw the party beforehand. They were
No, I
having
missed
they
that.
were having a blast. I really do
Good.
enjoy what the Marlins are doing with these culture nights where they celebrate the heritage of. This weekend was Nicaragua. At one point, they did Colombia. They did Cuba. Like, I think it's really cool what they do, and
Yeah.
people are just having a good time going to the ballpark. And I think they got to just keep it up because as this team keeps playing better, people are going to start going for a multitude of reasons, not just to watch the games, but also because it's a really fun atmosphere in a party.
Yeah, I agree. It's awesome. And like, we've always said it, like the marketing team on this for the Marlins is World Series caliber. And, you know, I think they've got their hands full finishing out the season, getting people at the ballpark. But they I think they had what $5 tickets for Labor Day, and I think next weekend or weekend after is Harry Potter Day, I think.
Yeah, it's September 14th, which is when they host the Tigers. And they're gonna have a really tough time, even with the Harry Potter jerseys, because, well, I'm about to say because it's NFL Sunday, but the Dolphins did pretty poorly yesterday, so maybe some people will go
Yeah.
for the jerseys instead of going to watch the Dolphins. I don't know, but it is a 1 o'clock game on a Sunday. That's a rough start time for a local game. We got the Nationals coming up. They're coming into town for a 4 game set, and then we have the Tigers. Now the Nationals. It could be a get right series. We have 4 game series against the Nationals, but then we play against the Tigers, which are doing very well.
Mhm.
Any thoughts on the next week of baseball? 4 against the Nationals,
Uh,
3 against the Tigers.
I think we probably at this point maybe win 2 out of the 6 or 7. Um, we're just coming off getting swept by the Nationals. I don't see us doing well against the Tigers. I think it might be rough.
Oh no,
Um,
Tigers is going to be rough for sure.
yeah, I think maybe we probably take 2 out of the National Series and then drop 2, and then I think we probably get swept by the Tigers at this point.
So we have the Nationals at home, then we have the Tigers at home, then we're on the road in Colorado for the Rockies. Then we go to Texas for 3, and then we go to Philly for 3. And then our last 3 games are against the Mets at home. So if you don't catch the Marlins in the next week for those 2 series, you only have 1 series left to watch baseball here in Miami before the season's over. The season ends on September 28th against the Mets, that 3 game set,
That's
which is really fun. Like we were saying it a couple weeks
Mhm.
ago. look, we beat them 3 out of 4. We get to play spoiler at the end of the season. Hopefully, that'll be a fun
Yeah.
series to go to.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try and make it out there for the Mets series.
I think I
Um,
am also. Look, it's nice to go one last time to the series, especially to watch them beat the Mets.
yeah, and I can't remember the last time I went to like the last home game of the season. It's been a long time. I used to try and go to opening day and closing day every year, but it's been several years since I did closing day.
Well, that's on September 28th, which is a Sunday, a 3 o'clock game.
Mhm.
But it should be fun. And look, it's been all things considered, 11 games on the 500. I think it's been a fun season. The summer
Yeah.
actually really gave everybody something to look forward to next season. And look, I think everybody should be excited, despite the rough last month. Like we said, the peak was that Yankee series sweep, but regardless, getting to watch some of the young guys play and perform, and watching Sandy possibly
Hmm.
in his last little run with the Marlins, I think it gives you a reason to watch.
Yeah, I agree. And we'll probably see some more call ups here soon, see some younger guys get some shots and just, finish out what's like you said, it's been a pretty good season. I think the team's been fun to watch. They've been they're hard fighting. And I think, there's a lot of hope going into next season and beyond, right? Like, I was very vocal in criticism of Bendix, and I was like, especially after he tore down a playoff team, I was like, God, there's no way you do
Yeah,
this. And then you see where we are now, and you have to admit, like, okay, that was a playoff team for one season, maybe two,
but the
and
ceiling
now he's
wasn't very
building
high.
something better.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I remember this off season. It was like February 1st, and I don't know what we did right before the season, but February 1st, I remember there was a stat going around. The Marlins are the only team to spend $0 this off season, and to me that was
Mm.
wild, wild,
Yeah, it was.
wild. Uh, we can't do
It
that this off season,
was.
though.
No, I think this offseason you have to add at least a couple
Something,
of vets. Yeah.
something.
I I would like to see us maybe add a little in the bullpen, some experienced arms in the bullpen. I think rotation wise, you're probably fine going into next season. But I do think we probably need a couple more pieces on the bench. I think our starters for next year are pretty well set, but I think some more experienced heads to kind of mentor the younger guys might help things.
Any final thoughts, Brandon?
No, just enjoy the run into the season. I mean, like it's easy, or I get distracted with NFL and college and, soccer's in full swing wherever, whatever league you're watching is basically
They're all
playing
going
now.
on. Yep.
So, don't forget about baseball. It's easy to do with a bad team like the Marlins, but just enjoy the run in because, like I always say, like we're gonna miss it, you know,
Yeah.
month or two into the season and be like, "Oh man, it would be nice to turn on the Marlins game on a Wednesday night and just, relax or whatever." So, just watch the fish, enjoy it, try and make it out to the ballpark before the season's done. Um, yeah, and if you can, I mean, make sure it's a sandy day or an eddy day. Might be the last
Yeah,
time
no,
you get to
definitely.
see them
No,
live.
hopefully Sandy pitches that last series of the year against the Mets, because I'd love to see him play one more time. Because I do think that
Yeah,
he won't be here next year, but we'll see.
agreed.
I'm glad that we came back and started doing the show again, though, because I love
Yeah.
baseball, and all eyes towards 2026. All right, if you're listening on audio, appreciate you listening all the way to the end. Please leave us 5 stars, comment, review, all that other good stuff. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching all the way to the end. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. And as always, we will be back next Monday, hopefully talking about a couple wins and maybe
Wild
some
card
stand-up
run.
performance. Yeah, something. It's hot wild card. Yeah, sure. Why not? We just gotta go undefeated from now to the end of the season.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. That's it. If we go 19-0, we would end up at 85 and 77. That gets you in, I think.
I think so. So that's a new bar.
That's it. All right. So until the next one, have a good one.